what are these new rifts and how new are they? They're the last 40 years in a lot of high-income societies. And the first rift is spatial, and it's that there's been a new spatial divergence between booming metropoles and provincial cities, which quite often got broken, towns and cities. And that reverses 200 years of previous history. Until about 1980, the spatial differences in Western societies were narrowing, and for the last 40 years, they've been widening again. And it's very obvious in both Britain and America, where you've got a lot of disaffection, and it's very geographically well defined. It's not the thriving cities on the coasts. It's the broken cities, Detroit in America, my own home, Sheffield in Britain, and a lot of smaller towns as well. So that's a spatial divide, and the other divide is the new class divide, which is between the people with a good tertiary education, like you and me, and the people who didn't go to college. And we've been on a sort of up escalator for 40 years, really, because on the basis of our good university education, we were able to develop skills that were specialist and becoming in higher and higher value. Whereas the people who didn't go to college, they invested in manual skills, and those skills are becoming less and less valuable. And these two divergences come together because if you're a bright kid in a provincial city, what do? You try and get out, and you go to the metropolis, London, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, whatever. And that amplifies the divide because it means that the broken cities, become left behind places in which the brightest and youngest and most energetic people have left, and that's further demoralizes them. So that's been the new divide, and people have got very angry about it, and it's also become a sort of cultural divide, so that the people in the metropoles are not just doing very much better than the people in the broken cities, but they feel, rather arrogantly perhaps, that they are in some way better people, and so they sort of despise and disdain the people left behind in broken cities, and that very evident in Hillary Clinton letting slip this phrase, the deplorables, and in Britain, one of the best political commentators, who's sort of London metropolitan successful himself, described what provincial Britain felt like from London, and it said, it's like being shackled to a corpse. And so that disdain for the rest of the country has compounded with this sort of economic divergence, has in the end produced what you could long have expected, which is mutinies. People get fed up and they use any opportunity to rebel. And in Britain, that was Brexit. In America, it was Trump. These are not forward-looking strategies. They're just expressions of anger. So that's what the book's about, is about this is what happened and what can we do about it to heal these rifts.